Ladies and gentlemen, Unscripted with the Crack Man, remotely, Bill Krackomberger. Oh, yeah. And it goes a little something like this. Yeah! Where you at, Billy?
East Coast, doing an East Coast tour here. I'm actually going to see what's going to be going on in Boston later on today. So going to the Encore book, may stop at the Barstool book and terrorize them. They only have, you can only bet at the counters there, no kiosk, no app betting yet. So I'm told they're taking some bets. Well, I'll report in on that later on. So also the Foxwoods and DraftKings, which is FanDuel, and of course DraftKings at Foxwoods, and see what they're taking on prop bets. Books are a little bit different this year, a little bit harder for these books on the East Coast. Unbelievably, probably getting some bigger bets in Vegas. You know, I was surprised to see the South Point. They were taking 2,000 when I was there on the props just yesterday. Circa 2,000. I was getting 3,000 at it was actually really good. I was really happy. I was really happy with the volume I was getting down in. You know, listen, I know that everyone doesn't bet those amounts, but just to be able to talk good about sports books, and it's an opportunity, and that's the reasons why I'm pretty tough on sports books, because I just expect them to be good. So I'm a little bit tougher on sports books than the average Joe. So it's good to give them some good praise and some good props. I beat up William Hill and Caesars for a healthy six figures the last 6-8 months. So I give them credit. They're a book that, you know, they wouldn't allow a lot of people with the brain to bet, and they have changed their stance, taken the volume, moved the numbers. Great job over there. So,
Bill, how does
good news.
How does Bill Krackomberger travel up the East Coast and down? Do you go in the Crackmobile? Do you drive yourself? Do you take a jet? What do you do?
You know, there's an unbelievable airline that started. The CEO of JetBlue started this airline called Breeze, and Breeze goes nonstop from Las Vegas right to Hartford here, Bradley Airport, nonstop, and they have first class, which is great. And by the way, the first class is coach prices for right now, anyway. Literally $200. I got a first class seat. One way, it includes the bags, big seats, plugins for my phones. I mean, it actually shocks me. So you can get that for like $219, $209. So that's the way I travel from West Coast to East Coast on this particular trip. And then I rent a car, and I'll just drive all around and just rent a car. And, you know, rental cars are out of control too, but still, you have to get place to place. So
how many Super Bowl prop bets do you think you have in pocket right now?
Ooh, good question. You know, I didn't kind of count them. More than I thought. I thought I was going to have less. I probably bet, I don't know. You know, it's funny. I have a list right now to go bet. So I have another 10 here. But I probably bet between 10 and 15 right now, that's a lot, believe it or not. You know, there's a lot that are unique to a sports book. So I know people get upset that follow me and Crack Win stuff. They go, oh, my God, you didn't give that. It's unique to one sports book. I don't do that. By the way, Gill, people that sell games love to do that. Oh, bet this at BetMGM, and here's the line, and maybe one person can get it. I love when these places do that, that sell, oh, yeah, there's one sports book that has this line. It's in, upstate New York. That's not fair. It's not fair to do that to people. I like to give some things that are widely available. So I'll have a lot more today. But, yes, I do have about that many. But 75% of these will be actually betting them on Super Bowl Sunday. So I'll be betting lots of player props under, probably.
That's what I wanted to get to, and you've jumped ahead of that, which is exactly what I talked about with Rufus yesterday, and I've talked about him, you know, as a guy who is famous for betting Super Bowl props. That the way this has changed, I mean, it was always to some degree the case, but now really starkly the case, where most of his stuff, or at least half of it, is on day of, where there's so many more people betting now, millions more, tens of millions more. And so the brain of the average bettor, the way that the human brain is wired, is for positivity, overs. We see that in any sport, right? People like to bet overs more than they do unders. That's how our instincts are wired. And so in Super Bowl, in the case of the Super Bowl, you are going to wait till the day of to bet a lot of unders just based on that kind of behavior.
Yeah, it's funny. I spent some time with Rufus the other day, and I seen him for a few minutes, and yes, he's a new and improved Rufus Peabody. Friendly, nice. Doesn't think he's the smartest person on the planet, but he's one of the sharpest guys. Him and his group, boy, they're feared. They're feared. So what they do on Super Bowl Sunday and what they do on prop bets throughout the year, very sharp group, very. I'm friends with a couple of those guys.
How
So for
how
sure.
many bets do
But
you
yes,
imagine
under
having by game time? How many do you imagine having?
100. Yeah,
And
I'll have
you
100
and you will
bets.
have
Yeah, but
no idea what you're rooting for at
you
that
know,
point.
I love you saying that because I put that on Twitter the other day with a video, and people came in and said, "What do you mean you don't know what you're rooting for?"
Yeah.
Yeah, BS. Let me tell you something, guys. I really won't know. You're asking me right now. I know I have a couple things like, I know I have like the kickoff, no touchback. I think it's going to be run out plus 180. I bet at Circa for a good amount of money here too, and they took a good bet on that. So, but like I know I have that, but yet I don't know player props that I'll have. You know how hard it is to watch a game and root for a guy to get this, don't get this, get. No, I don't know. This is a business to me, guys. This is not. This puts food on the table. It takes care of my family. Takes care of my friends. This isn't something that's recreational to me. I know it's recreational to a lot of people, and I appreciate that. By the way, I need recreational money in the market, especially for Sunday. I need a lot of liquidity. So, no, good point, Gill. I will not know what I have on most of the things, but yet, like I know this year, you bet we actually bet a lot of overs early. I'm surprised I actually went even on an under on a player prop. I went under on Hurts yards. Usually I would wait, but situation was happening there where I kept on seeing the market go lower and lower, and I wanted to jump on that and getting a little advantage on that. But like, I think Mahomes is probably healthier than people think. He's probably closer to the 100%. Not 100. That's not a good number. Probably 90%, closer to 90% that people think. And a 90% Mahomes is better than 100% healthy on a lot of other quarterbacks. So I think he's a little bit healthier here. So I'm not going to be going against anything there of his. I might go touchdown. Something I like doing. I like betting touchdown passes under. I seen the Westgate had a juicy that the boy. I tell you, they had under 3 minus like 400, under 3 touchdown passes. Wow. 4 touchdown passes from Mahomes it's going to take to beat me. But yet I still didn't do it. I still didn't lay that number when I was there. But I'm actually coming back in for the Super Bowl. So
I was going to ask you where you're watching it.
Okay.
Yeah, where you're going to be in town to watch it.
Yeah.
Just for those who aren't familiar with you as much, give me the pie of how many of your Super Bowl props are you just picking off a bad number based on the fact that they're in multiple places and you say, oh, well, this one is the number to grab. What's the percentage of you being advised from somebody else like, hey, based on my model, you should be betting this. How does it break down for you?
Yeah, the bad number thing, I guess, you could search around and get some. I seen yesterday, as soon as I got in late last night, I actually found like scalps, but I didn't even scalp them because you can't get enough money down to scalp. So if I was to bet a nickel over, minus $1.20, when am I going to come back with $300 the other way plus 140? Like, it's just not what I do. I try to bet the bad number, what I think the bad number is. That's going to happen on certain situations. But yes, me and my team absolutely will be betting I'll be betting lots of stuff based on models, but also based on that number on Sunday being bet up. I'm hoping that in volume, these little $25, $50, $100 bets, I'm hoping in volume, these sports books are forced to over-move the numbers on the player props and go up, where I actually may find a Hurts again, a good number on his passing yards. So my goal is to be betting mostly unders on Sunday and probably closer to game time. I know some people are saying Saturdays. Saturday there may be some low-hanging fruit, but Sunday is really the day where I'm hoping that the books, realize their risk and exposure on certain player props, yardage, attempts, all that kind of stuff, receptions. And I know what the market is. I have a sheet which I know what the market is on every player prop as far as the yards and the numbers, so I'll know if they do move them up, or I can jump in and take advantage of some of that stuff. So
All right.
See what happens.
Bill, and for those who want to actually see Bill Krackomberger in action, what he does, how he behaves, all the different things he does before Super Bowl, it might be time to fire up the old action docuseries. This was before the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Patriots. It's a few years back. It's a great sort of window into what Bill does before the Super Bowl. What Todd Wishnev is in there as well, and others. It should be pointed out, but Bill prominently featured Action, the docuseries on Showtime. Cool. Bill, great seeing you. We'll see
Where
you.
are you going to be, Gil?
I'll be here. It's the first.
All right, with Kelley.
It's the first Super Bowl since 2016 that I'll actually be able to watch on my own at home. How about that?
Have a great game, my man.
You too.
See you guys.
Bill Krackomberger, everybody, at Bill Crackman with the K on the Twitter machine.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.